goes. Oh, it looks like there's a little something on the lens, so we're going to have to clean that up real quick. Sorry about the thing there. Oh, maybe it's just I don't know what that is. Is it a scratch? I hope not. Anyway, so this is a cooking edition. I'm going to mount the camera right there. And as you can see, I have my tin can, which I have burnt all the plastic off of and scrubbed it out and cooked it in a couple times. I have some mustard, and I have some olive oil, robust variety, and I have a chili packet. I'm going to go ahead and shake all the stuff to the bottom so we can get all of it in there. It's going to be a spicy version. Okay. And we've broken the top ramen up, not completely, but into kind of smallish pieces, so it's going to fit into the can. Now you may ask yourself, how am I going to cook this? What is my source of heat? As you can see, it's just a tin can sitting on top of a tin can on a wooden table. Now, I don't have any charcoal. I don't have a little pump stove or a gas stove of any kind. All I have is a device like this and a fuel source that appears to have plenty of fuel in it. Somewhere I have a lighter, and that is going to be enough to make some very nice top ramen. Okay. Always pick up your trash. It's very important. I'll put all that in my pocket for the moment. Slightly messy, but I don't have a trash bag at the moment. So, I have some water. I'm going to fill this full of water. The cat is intervening and inspecting, and I don't want him to, so I may have to do something here, so we'll take care of that. Come here, buddy. Yeah, I know. We're going to have you right here. That way we don't have him sticking his whiskers into it. And I'm centering it on the can so it's nice and stable. And dig around in my pockets. Lighter. Fuel. Torch. The torch is closed. And I'm carefully threading it on without cross-threading it. Go look up what cross-threading is. Not tightening it down too much, but as you can tell, the valve is already closed and you don't hear anything. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, okay. Hopefully I get audio through that. It's kind of one of the technical problems I'm working on. Okay, so I'm going to turn the torch on, put my glasses on so I can see what I'm doing really well. Oh, and that's got junk in it, so we're going to take my knife. As you can see, if you look really close, there's a little bit of pocket lint in the lighter. And it still has the little safety thing on there, which makes it a little harder to use the lighter in the kinds of ways I usually do. So we are going to take this part off temporarily, and there goes the lint. So that was, oops, that was inside the lighter and makes it impossible to use. So we'll take that out. Now we have it like that. We don't want it like that. So we're gonna squeeze this until the little tines are back together again, just barely. Okay, and then we're going to slide that back on, just like that, until the little things snap into place. It might take a little fiddling and a squeeze. And there we have it back together again. No lint and no little safety thing. Now it should light quite nicely. You can't see the flame, but you can hear it. That means you have to be very careful. There's some safety issues. Even briefly putting your finger into that flame will cause it to be very painful for quite a while, and can even cause blisters and other damage. The wood table is vulnerable to flame, and in Idaho right now there's a little sensitivity about fire, but then we're in a well-watered park, and if I'm very careful, I can be very safe. I am placing the heat below the water line and on the side at a slight angle so that part of the flame clings to the side and curls around, increasing the surface. And I'm going to poke the top ramen to get it under the water and kind of move it around slowly. It's not super stable, so I want to be gentle, not to overstir it and knock it off of its little tin can pedestal. Again, we have a little bit of olive oil in there. I may put just a little bit more. And it has a smoky, robust flavor. And we will have a very nice, homeless top ramen. A little mustard to add some zing to it. It's the pepper flavor, so it's going to be a really zingy, spicy. And because of that, I have some Tums in a little jar, because I just know I'm going to get some heartburn. I prefer baking soda for heartburn, and I have some, but I don't want to get into that just yet. I want to use up the Tums that I have. I'm going to move it around. I'm going to take that lighter and move it away from the flame. It's not a big deal, but I don't want to explode my lighter. It's going to take a little while to get it hot enough. Now I can turn it. I can show you how I do that. I'm only heating the top can. I'm not putting the flame on the lower can. So that means I have cool hand access to it, so I can heat it, and I'm very carefully being. There's a little muck on the table. Okay, so I'm not, my flame is not anywhere near my hand, and I can easily cook with my little scorch can here. And water has a tremendous capacity to absorb heat. Once it has that heat, it'll take quite a while for it to dissipate, especially depending on what kind of other stuff you have in the water. With this nice hot torch, it doesn't take very long to get it to start to simmer. What we're looking for is for it to boil rather energetic. You can kind of tell while you're using something to push down and manipulate the top ramen just how cooked it is. It doesn't take very long once it gets hot, but in cold water, top ramen takes a very long time to soften, and the flavor's not nearly as nice when it's cold as when it's hot. For survival purposes, it's perfectly understandable to eat cold, dry top ramen. In fact, I've had friends call it hippie popcorn. It kind of tastes like popcorn when you eat it dry. But today we're having it heated. We've added a packet of typical sandwich mustard and a little bit more in volume, a little bit of olive oil of the robust variety. I really like that rich, toasty, roasty flavor. Should go well with this really spicy top ramen. I'm rotating it because I want to spread the heat evenly through the water. It'll transmit through the water quite effectively, but it'll work a little better if we heat all sides at the same time. And now that it's starting to soften, as you can see, they're more flexible. I'm trying to stir it just a little bit so that the harder stuff in the middle gets to the sides, because in the middle it takes a little longer for that to get that full heat, which is why it's not quite boiling. It's just still stubbornly simmering. The broth has a really nice rich color with some oil floating on it. Gives it an extra richness to have that olive oil in it. There's some brands of top ramen that are actually imported from other countries that has a little oil packet, and some have chicken fat in a little packet, and those are very tasty. There is some controversy about those. I personally like them, and they're usually sold in halal specialty grocery stores. Let's take a look at our time on the camera. I'm at 12 minutes, so I'm going to shut the camera down, and that'll be a segment. This is Darren Merchant with American Nomad News cooking segment. Have a wonderful day.